Hey there, gorgeous. My name is Melissa, and also known as the Taropist, and we are here to do a love reading today. We are going to do a full-sized love reading with clarifiers, and this is going to be for any placement of any sign for the collective audience here. And guys, I will just go over the reading kind of structure, and then I will let you all know that if you're not interested in any of this introduction, I will leave a timestamp in the pinned comment below for those of you who would like to skip right over to the reading. Okay. But we are going to do a love reading, like I said, and the reading is going to be, we'll get your energy, the person that you have on your mind's energy, as well as a potential outcome here. The person that you have on your mind can be literally anyone from single to married, anywhere in between. You don't even have to know this person in the third dimension for you to be watching this reading. What I will say about this is that this is just energy, and anything for the potential outcome. This is just a potential outcome. If whatever you do in the third dimension ultimately is going to shape your reality. Okay. And guys, anything that you would ever need to know about myself or the channel, you can find either in the channel description, the description box below, or you can also check out my community tab. As well, you can look at my website, which is www.thetaropist.com. And I am no longer doing Zoom or FaceTime readings for the summer months, but I am still available for pre-recorded and email readings, and those are listed in the description box below, as well as my email address and PayPal and Cash App. So whatever reading you would choose, you would just make the payment to either the PayPal or Cash App, and then send me the receipt of that payment along with your questions to the email listed below. Guys, if you would like, if you're not interested in a personal reading, but you would like a more personalized collective reading, engaging with the channel in some way is going to help me to be more likely to pick up on your energy. Okay. You can either engage by liking, sharing, or commenting on any of the content. So any of the videos or any of the community tab posts. Or, of course, my personal favorite, and I think the most powerful way for us to exchange energy is by you hitting that little subscribe button below if you have not already. And if you are interested in knowing when or being notified when I do upload or go live, go ahead and click the little bell notification icon to all. Guys, on that note, we are going to dive right in. We're going to start out with these dream guidance love messages here. Okay, we got a couple of them for sure. It says, you are not giving me enough attention here, and it is hard to be just friends. Okay. I'm going to try to get one more because I'm wondering why you're just friends if this is so hard. Let's find out. It says, too many uncertainties, don't want to give false promises. Okay, guys, and on the bottom of the deck is, you are my desire. Okay, yeah, that feels, well, it did knock off, and then there's something under it says, I know you are worth the wait. So yeah, the uncertainties, by the way, I want to say feel like someone's own insecurities, but we will see. There are no certainties in love. Okay. We don't get to know how the things are going to turn out before we go for them. You have to go for something and then, find out how it turns out. I hope that makes sense, because I don't know if it's you or this other person that feels like they'd like to know how the story ends before they begin the story. Okay. And let's find out with the tarot what more we have here. We're going to start out again with your energy, then we'll get the person you have. By the way, it's going to be your energy, their energy, potential outcome. But if you need to reverse your energy and their energy, you can absolutely do that. However, first of all, maybe the person that you're watching for is also watching. I don't really know. But what I'm going to say is, it doesn't matter. If you feel like the energy in the second column feels more like yours and the first column feels more like theirs, absolutely go ahead and reverse those roles. We are going to start out with this Hanged Man in your energy. Now, of course, you could be a Pisces, but it does feel like there's something on hold, and it feels like you, by the way, that has this on hold. And I think it might be because you think you'd like to figure out how this is going to end before it starts. Something like that. This person, maybe you're questioning, whether or not they even are interested in you, because I don't feel like they've been very communicative. It does feel like communication could be coming from them, by the way. Ooh, I like this outcome, guys. The Empress is in the outcome. And we do have the fucking Three of Swords as the overarching energy. Don't break your own heart, honey. Okay. Let's find out more though. Something about your ego getting in the way here, but I don't know. It does feel like you, but of course, again, you can reverse the roles. It does feel like a great outcome here because eventually I think you are going to let this kind of, or you or them is going to let the need to kind of, again, it's like, okay, because there's like this saying, seeing is believing, right? But in the spiritual world, we're like believing is seeing, right? Where you have to believe it before you can see it. You have to believe that it's yours. You have to believe that it can work out. And you're waiting to see it before you believe it. And this is a spiritual connection. So it's saying you can't see the outcome or you can't plan this out. This is defies logic in the first place. I think that this connection feels like it could be something that maybe isn't even your type, typically speaking. Holy shit, you guys. To clarify, the hanged man. Move. No, I'm just kidding. There's a higher perspective being gained here, but I feel like I'm getting like a deer in headlights. Something has you feeling unable to move. You ever had a scary dream where there's a scary guy coming? This happens to me. It doesn't happen to me anymore. In my childhood, it was constant, but this fear, that freezes you, right? So the monster, the scary guy is coming and you literally can't move. That's what I feel like right now. Okay. It's like you see this person as the love of your life. You see this person. I don't know what this Three of Swords is, by the way. Wow. A lot of mirroring going on, by the way. Eight of Swords or Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands. And you have the Hanged Man and the Hanged Man both in your energy here. I'm going to get one more on your energy, or how many ever come out? There we go. One more. The Four of Pentacles, kind of a need to release an old mindset, maybe about love or this love, and maybe this person. Maybe you saw them formally as somebody you didn't want to get serious with, but now you're starting to feel more seriously towards them. But now I feel like you think you can't tell them that, or you can't move towards them because you feel like you need to stick to the way that you originally felt. Out of pride is kind of the energy I'm getting. We're allowed to change our minds. We're allowed to evolve as human beings, and our feelings are definitely allowed to change. But let's get more on this. Wow, that is so loud. The Three of Pentacles. I always get that you could work with this person in the three when the Three of Pentacles comes out. When any Pentacles come out in a reading, I always get that energy. I don't think I ever really went over again the Hanged Man in your original, and we're just clarifying the original energies basically when we pull more cards. But the original energies, your energy is the Hanged Man. This is about gaining a higher perspective, but being held up or on pause, on hold to do so, not moving towards something, taking no action whatsoever. The Eight of Wands here in their energy is about taking action. It's about a quick and successful conclusion to a somewhat confusing situation by way of clear communication. And then the Empress card in the outcome here, or the potential outcome, is about something that is I'm getting fertile. You may have children, end up having children with this person, but it's about the ability to start creating a life that you truly love, or a very abundant, free life that I'm getting like a freedom filled lifestyle that you love. Because let me get more here. That's it on that. Okay, I guess I was done there. And we're moving back over to your person's energy, or the person you have on their mind. And that heartbreak does seem to be, I want to say that the heartbreak overall feels like rejection. They feel rejected by you, by the way. They feel like they've tried, or they've given their all, or they've exhausted this situation. I don't know what exactly this means. This may mean they expressed their emotions to you or their feelings towards you, but at the time you didn't feel like there was anything real here. I want to say, and again, you can always reverse these roles. This is channeling information, not necessarily what all these cards mean. But it does feel like something, while maybe it could be that you all work together or something like that, you felt like this couldn't be anything serious because you felt like it would interrupt your professional work situation. I don't really know what this is, or in a general sense, maybe you just felt more physically attracted to somebody and now you're starting to feel a more emotional connection with someone and you feel like you can't do anything or say anything about it because what you've already said or something like that. Like you can't, like you're not allowed to change your mind. Now, if your mind has changed or your feelings have changed, that doesn't mean you were being dishonest before. Okay, you weren't. You were being honest, and that was what was meant. That's what you meant when you said it. But let me get more here. The Empress, and then the Nine of Pentacles, which is the minor arcana version of the Empress card. So a lot of abundance in the outcome here, and success and prosperity in this outcome. Let me see more. And it does feel like a soulmate of yours that had, I want to say, a false start. The maybe like in the I don't even know what pretense, the wrong pretense. I don't know what that means. Okay, so it's saying here that you might have had the idea of this connection, or the both of you maybe had the idea of what this connection was wrong in the first place, or didn't realize the depth of what this connection really was in the first place. And you maybe even had a physical connection without the actual relationship, is kind of the energy that I'm getting here. And now you're starting to realize that your feelings go much deeper. And by the way, I just don't think that you were capable of the feeling of that originally. um I do feel like, because I do feel like you're capable of that. I want to say, by the way, I feel like whoever I'm talking to still feels like they don't want to give any false promises. Too many uncertainties, don't want to give false promises. Wow, because I forgot that that card was there, but that is what it's saying. It's like you don't want to give any false promises. And by the way, when we enter into a relationship or decide to try to make something more serious with somebody, or even start a commitment in any way, I want to say that a commitment is not forever. Although it's called a commitment, I want to say that a relationship is, I I kind of like vow, or I want to be with you and loyal to you while we still have these feelings towards each other. Is kind of what they're saying here, is that you could, I think you're afraid that you're not going to be able to remain loyal to somebody for the rest of time or something like that. And they're saying, just because you love somebody and want to be loyal to them in this moment doesn't mean you have to commit to the rest of time. Even if you were to marry somebody, by the way, if the two of you evolve apart, then that's what happens naturally. And I think that that should be looked like, every commitment should be looked at in the way that we stay committed to each other while our feelings remain. But that doesn't lock us into a lifetime of being committed to somebody should things change, our feelings change. Okay, something about you knowing or needing to understand that just because you love them and want to be with them now, or you're having these feelings and want to spend time with them now, doesn't mean you have to want that for the rest of your life. However, if it's real, and I think it is, I think that naturally it will last a lifetime. But I think that you need to know that that is not um that is not set in stone. It is something that, again, I think that we should commit to each other while the feelings remain. And then if we should grow apart for any reason, I think we should release each other lovingly. Okay. I don't, whatever this is, I hope that makes sense for you. With the Chariot card in kind of like the other overarching energy, it feels like there's a victory here and a true divine counterpart relationship between the yin and the yang energies here. But it is saying that you're going to need to take kind of the lead or take control of the situation by communicating clearly to this person, whom I feel like possibly feels like you maybe broke their heart originally. I want to say that maybe they have already communicated to you that they wanted something more serious, and you didn't feel like you had that to offer them, or you just didn't feel like you wanted that at that time. You didn't have the same feelings at that time. And I feel like it's because you had some evolving to do, a higher perspective to gain here, just to really see that what you had with that person or what they offer is very rare. Is the energy that I'm getting here. And ultimately, I do feel like this is a soulmate of yours that you underestimated the power of originally. But in the outcome here, the Empress card, the Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is about a soulmate, a past life relationship, or something that brings back that sort of nostalgia, that old feeling of safety and peace. I feel like this person, maybe even, let me say you get into their vicinity, you get close to their body, and the energy feels like a warm hug. You just feel like you're comfortable and you're safe and you're at home and protected. I'm getting the Seven of Wands. I feel like that is the protection. I feel like this connection is protected. And the Nine of Pentacles is about kind of like the luxuries. I feel like you guys are going to be able to enjoy the luxuries of life together and grow abundantly together. And again, but there's a freedom about it where neither one of you need the other one to stay committed, like make a commitment. Maybe you guys don't believe in marriage. Maybe you are going to get married, but on the pretense keeps coming through. Maybe on the pretense that if we ever stop loving each other, we would never keep each other kind of bound to this relationship, that we would always want the best for the other. Well, that's really sweet. But it's like while we're together and we do love each other, we're going to remain kind of exclusive with each other and loyal to the other. But should for any reason we ever evolve apart or the feelings go away or something like that, the feelings fade, then we would kind of commit to releasing each other into, the freedoms of the world or something like that. It's sweet, and it's not for everybody, but I really like this. And communication, it's asking you to be more clear about communicating with somebody without the fear of it meaning that anything is set in stone. The way you're feeling now is maybe different than the way you felt before, and maybe your feelings are going to change again. And we are human, and this is allowed. So I love you so much. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you would like me to be more likely to pick up on your personal situation in the future, of course, subscribing to the channel is a lovely way for me to be able to do that. Guys, I love you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you very soon. Mwah.